Okay, so picking back up where I left off, the video got interrupted, but I took notice to those certain type of things with the kids, and it's the same thing with us. It's like different situations and different experiences that we experience. You get a different result from it. You get a different behavior, a different attitude, a different, demeanor about ourselves, right? And so just looking at those things and how we approach things and the different cycles that we experience in our daily life, right? So the ones that we don't want, those harmful ones, those repetitive ones that cause us to have that bad behavior, those cycles of bad behavior and bad habits, those are the cycles that we want to break. We want to break those repetitive cycles of abuse, repetitive cycles of negligence, those repetitive cycles of, just those emotional breakdowns, mental breakdowns. You know what I mean? Those cycles, we want to break those. And I said, how do you break a cycle? That was a question I had. How do you break a cycle? And so I was like, looking back on the patterns and behaviors we have seen and experienced throughout our lives, good and bad, looking at those and taking inventory of those. Where did it come from? Why did we pick it up? Why do we feel that that's okay? How did we feel when we saw it being done? How did we feel when we saw that pattern of abuse in our families? How did we feel when we saw that pattern of emotional instability in our families, in our bloodline, around us, wherever it may have been? How did we feel? What was that feeling that we had when we saw it? You know what I mean? So you think about how, I was watching a show and it was showing someone like the young man, it was a married couple, and the young man, his father was abusive to his mother. And he hated his father. His whole thing was, I hated how he treated my mother. And, I was afraid of my father. And then it was like his wife was just sitting looking at him in amazement. And the lady said, well, do you realize that you have become the thing that you hate? And it took for him to just sit and sit with that and to, take that in and say, you know what? That's truth. You know what I'm saying? So I said that to say sometimes we have to think about the things that we take in. Those cycles, those repetitive things that we've seen, that we've grown up watching and saying, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't like the way that made me feel. But then we turn around and we do it to someone else. So the same way that we felt, they're feeling. Those cycles of neglect, those cycles of abuse, those cycles of bad attitudes. You know what I mean? Those cycles of just having that a bully mentality. That's a cycle. You were bullied as a child, so now you're bullying someone else. You were abused as a child, now you're abusing someone else. Or you were neglected, so now you neglect. Just getting rid of those things that we don't want. We don't want those cycles to keep going. We don't want it to repeat in our children, in our children's 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 children. You know what I mean? We want to cut those things off at the roots. We want to cut it out. We don't want it at all. We want to break those cycles of financial instability. You know what I mean? Just having a sense of, I'm just going to spend it because I have it. No. Pay your bills. Pay your bills. Pay off things. Don't just sit and say, I can just pay the bare minimum of it and keep it going. No. If you have it, pay it off. Break that cycle. Oh, no, man. You know what I mean? That's what that hit me hard, because I was like, okay, I can just pay the minimum balance. No, pay it. If you have it, pay it. Pay it off. Break that cycle of debt. Break it. It's a cycle. Break it. You know what I mean? Break that mindset. Break that cycle of that mindset, because we repeat what we see. You know what I mean? So change that. Change the dynamic of that. I was looking at it as in, I said, what is the base of what, let me see. I said, we take inventory of those things. What is it that we base our lives off of? What is it that we base it off of? What is it that we go day by day? Our structure, our routines. What is our routines based off of? Right? So we have to get that mindset, in our heart to say like, yeah, I am wealthy. So I want to, my heart says I'm wealthy. So my mind has to think as if I'm wealthy. My mind has to think that, so that my actions will show that I am a wealthy person. You know what I mean? I'm healthy. My heart says I'm healthy. So my mind is thinking on healthy things. So my body can respond to being healthy. You get what I'm saying? It's just that breaking that cycle, breaking the cycles of, just dealing with bad situations, dealing with bad habits, breaking those cycles of bad habits so that we can move forward in our growth and development. So that we can truly grow and not be hindered in it. You know what I mean? We don't want to be, we don't want to be we don't want our growth to be stifled. You know what I mean? We don't want to be premature. We don't want that to happen. We don't want it to just stop here. It just does not stop here. I don't care what your age is. You're constantly growing and developing. You're getting better and better and better and better. Each year, God allows us to see we are growing, we're developing, we're becoming more creative. You get what I'm saying? We're more every year. We're more every day. We're gaining. We're not going back. We're not losing. We are gaining. We are gaining more strength. We are gaining more wisdom. We are gaining more knowledge and understanding. We are gaining. We're not losing anything. So we're breaking that cycle, that mindset, that habit, those bad behaviors. We're cutting all that off so that we can truly break the cycle, right? So I encourage you to just think on that. Think on those bad habits and those bad cycles and those things that you don't want to continue to repeat in your life, in the lives of your children, in the lives of your grandchildren, in the lives of the generation to come after you, in the lives of those that you are mentoring and teaching and, the ones that are around you. You know what I mean? Because we influence. Everyone has someone that they influence. Everyone has someone that is watching them, that is looking up to them, that you have a sphere of influence everywhere that you go, every time that you open your mouth. So you have to be mindful of that. And break those bad behavioral patterns now. Those emotional and mental and physical and religious and generational bad cycles. Break those so that we can truly live and grow and be developed into all that God has us to be. All right? Talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.